Okay, good morning, everybody. Please sit comfortably and try to keep your back straight as much as possible. Gently close your eyes. Take a long, deep breath and try to relax your whole body. Observe from top of your head to the tips of your toes. See each and every part of your body is relaxed. Get comfortable. Let go of the past and the future. Try to stay in the present moment so we can begin our practice. We start with loving kindness meditation. Develop love and compassion towards ourselves, towards others, is the foundation of our practice. Having a good base, having a good foundation is very helpful. Think to yourself, may I be well, may I be happy, may I be peaceful, may I be well, may I be happy, may I be peaceful, may I be well, may I be happy, may I be peaceful. Loving and kind thoughts towards your family members, your loved ones. Think of them individually. Send your love and compassion towards your close relatives, your family members, and all living beings. May all they be well, happy and peaceful. May all they be well, happy and peaceful. May all they be well, happy and peaceful. Now your heart and mind, full of love and compassion, we can begin our mindfulness practice. Now slowly start focusing on your breathing. Focusing on wherever you feel breath moving distinctly in and out of your body. And this may be a tip of your nose, back of your throat or chest, or down in the belly. Wherever you feel your breath, concentrate. As it arises with in-breath, falls away with out-breath. Noticing precisely the sensation that occurs with each inhale and exhale. Each breath is unique. Each breath has different sensation. Allow your breath to anchor you to the present moment. Whenever you notice that your mind wandered away, this may happen many times during your practice. As often as it happens, very gently Bring your attention back to your breath, back to present moment. Sometimes mind wandered for a short time. Sometimes it wandered for a long time. It's possible to find yourself judging, criticizing yourself, your wandering mind. That's what mind does. If you have a mind, it will wander. The task of the meditation is not to try to still your mind or to ban any thoughts from coming in. But simply to observe and aware of its patterns. Each and every time when it wandered away, bring your attention back to your breathing. If you want to change your posture, change it mindfully and gently. Again and again, if you noticed that your mind is wandered, acknowledge that it wandered. Gently bring your attention back to your breathing, back to present moment. Again, if you're distracted by a thoughts or a feeling, try to bring your attention back to your breathing. May peace be with you. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. Thank you so much. And open your eyes. So we can do the chanting together. Start with page 4. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tutiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Anicca vata saṅkhārā uppada vaya dhammino. Upajitva nirujjanti. Tesaṃ upasamosukho. Sabbe sattā avera hontu. Sabbe sattā avyapajja hontu. Sabbe sattā anika hontu. Sabbe sattā sukhi atthānaṃ pariharantu. Pubbangama dhammā mano setta manomaya. Manasa ce paduttena vasati va karoti va. Tato nam dukkha manveti. Cakkaṃ vahato padaṃ. Mano pubbangama dhammā mano setta manomaya. Manasa ce pasannena vasati va karoti va. Tato nang sukhaman veti. Chāyāva anapāyini. visible. Mind is chief. We believe in generosity towards others. We believe skillful noble path is marked with generosity. We believe generosity has many levels. Being generosity, speak generously, act generously. We believe generosity is a part of our spiritual practice, and this practice allows us to become more open, accepting, and forgiving. We believe extending generosity to ourselves and others is a direct way of healing division, bringing joy, and nurturing spiritual community years to come. All time, both now and forever, a protector for those who without protection, a guide for those who, a ship for those with an ocean across, a sanctuary for those who in danger, a lamp for those without light, a place of refuge for those who lack of shelter. By means of this material deed, good morning. How was your practice today? Good. Today, I am going to talk about anxiety. I was anxious yesterday, but I'm going to talk about today. But then I realized that's my thoughts. So what is the anxiety for you? What do you describe anxiety?
Fear.
Feeling?
Worry about
Fear? Yeah. Yeah. It's anxiety is a natural human emotions, which is a combination of a worry and fear. Some of us deal with anxiety better than others. For some of us, this worrisome thoughts and fear about the future is real. When you feel it real, then you are in danger. So there are many different ways to deal with the anxiety. In Buddhism, also teach us how we should ease our mind to deal with the anxiety. There are 4 different steps that we have to practice in order to overcome the anxiety and having that, to get rid of that feelings. The first one is we need to acknowledge that we have these feelings. The second one is that we have to be mindful about the thoughts, the anxiety feeling, that anxious feelings that we have. The third one, we have to analyze our feelings and thoughts. The fourth one, of course, we have to do what we're supposed to do in order to overcome. I recently I don't know if you guys follow me on Facebook, I recently posted something on the Facebook saying about worrying about tomorrow is going to take out not your problems, it's going to take out today's peace. The first one, we need to acknowledge that we have these thoughts and feelings. So a human condition is when you have such a feelings within us, we suppress them. Or we temporarily distract ourselves in order to get rid of the anxiety that we have. That will not solve your problem. That's going to be a temporary solution. It's like if you have for example, if you have a plastic ball, so you take that ball and push it under the water and keep your pressure on that ball. As long as you keep the pressure on, it will stay under the water. Soon after you take your hand out, release the pressure, what will happen? It will come back. That's the same thing when you find a temporary solution to anything in life. It's same to the anxiety or the worrisome feelings and fear that you have. So what we have to do is, instead of finding a temporary solution, we need to find out exactly what it is. In Buddhist teachings, we always said we have to find the root of the problems. If you don't find the root of the problem, it's hard for you to solve the problems. So, most of the time, what we do when you have those feelings, instead of acknowledging that I have these feelings, we start to hate those feelings. Right? Often we said, I hate having these feelings. When you hate having those feelings, what happens when you see as a monster those feelings that you have, it's getting bigger and bigger. So that's why it's important to see as this is a normal human emotion. So once you acknowledge that you have these normal human emotions, the second one is the most important part, is being mindful about it. I cannot emphasize enough how much this practice will help you when it comes to anxiety or any other thing in your life to deal with. As all the monks have mentioned in many times, the real meditation is not sitting in the couch. The real meditation is when you go out in the world and dealing with your day-to-day life. That's where the real meditation practice comes. This is just a little practice, preparing yourself, preparing your mind when you go out in the world. When it comes to mindfulness, there are 4 different kinds of mindfulness in Buddhist teachings, which is, you have to be mindful about your body, and you have to be mindful about your mind, and you have to be mindful about your feelings, and you have to be mindful about your mental state. So we are only going to talk about being mindful about your mind. when it comes to anxiety or the fear or the worrisome thoughts when it comes to. This is where the practice will help you. Because most of the time, when you have anxious feelings, when you have worrisome thoughts or fearful thoughts, we think the thought of anxiousness, thought of fear is ourself. But if you practice mindfulness, if you be mindful about your mind, you can see the separation between you and the thought. Of that when you have an anxious thought, the normal human condition is we think, oh, I'm anxious. When you have a worrisome thought, we think, oh, I'm worried and I'm feared. We put ourselves into the thought. But if you're mindful, what will happen? You have a little separation between you and your thought. And then you start to see, oh, I am not anxious. I have these anxious thoughts. I am not worried. I have these worrisome thoughts in me. And I am not fear. I have these fearful thoughts in me. Because if you do not separate those feelings from you, it will be difficult for you to correct and let go. So, when you have these thoughts, anything in life, what is the nature of things that arise? Yeah, they're going to go away, right? When we're talking about suffering and impermanency, every time we talk about suffering when it comes to Buddhist teachings, right? People get tired of talking about suffering. And then we talk about impermanency. And then they get tired of talking about impermanency too. Because there are things that you wanted to have permanent in your life, right? We like to live forever, if we can. But the only permanent thing is in this world is impermanency. And when it comes to impermanency, we only think the things that we like, things that we want the most is impermanent. We are sad. But when it comes to the negative thoughts or a negative emotion that we have, that's also impermanent. They're not going to last forever. They're going to go away. So, when you have these thoughts, you have to understand they are not permanent. They will go away. So once you see the separation between you and the thoughts, it will be easier for you to work on, instead of thinking, I am anxious, I have anxiety, I have these thoughts, that would be easier for you to work on. So then you have to analyze. You have to analyze how you're going to analyze the thoughts that you have. We have to always ask ourselves a question. Why? Why do I have these thoughts? Why do I have these feelings? And if you ask yourself a question, so why? Sometimes, most of the time, anxiety happens because we are worrying about the future, not something about the present moment. When it comes to the present moment, we don't have it. As I mentioned, I was anxious about this talk, but when I realized that the last part we were talking about, we have to do what we're supposed to do. So I talked to myself and I said, I have to prepare myself about the talk. So then that thought of anxiety disappeared because I know what I'm supposed to do and I'm preparing for it. So it's like the thoughts that you have is similar to the cloudy sky. You know, this when you go out and look at the sky. Someday, I'm talking about the sky, I mean the blue sky. That's the sky, right? Sometime we go outside, look up, you don't see the sky. You can see the different shapes and forms of clouds there. And then here and there you can see the blue sky. Some days you can't even see a little bit of the blue sky. It's all covered with clouds. That's our mind. But does that mean the sky is not there? No. The sky is there. We have to be patient and wait till the cloud go past so we can see the sky. It's the same. We have these clouds. Sometimes they are really dark. Lightning too. Some are very light. But they're all going to go. And you will be able to see the sky, the blue sky. The mind is like that. Some days we are good. We have positive energy. And we can see the blue sky. Some days it's really hard. We can't see it. But do not give up. And the last part, that's where again, this practice will help you. Because at the beginning, I mentioned, to have a better practice, the foundation is very important. The foundation of this practice is loving kindness. I tell you why the loving kindness is so important. Because we all want to be perfect, don't we? Right? Does anybody don't want to be perfect? Yeah, everybody want to be. Okay, just one there. 1 out of 70. So we all want to be perfect. But it's not easy, right? Is it? And these things that I'm saying is not easy. It's easier said than done. But anything in life that we have to succeed is not easy. Think about, basketball players. I'm sure they shoot thousands free throws if you want to get better, right? Anything in life. We have to keep doing it. That's how you're going to get better. The practice also same. Have a compassion towards yourself. Because you probably try one time, you will fail. You will have the same emotion again in the next second. And have a compassion towards yourself. That's why it's so important to have a loving kindness towards yourself. I heard this nice saying. We all are saying that you all are made for perfection. Yet you are not perfect. But you are a masterpiece of making. Each and every one of you. So be patient with yourself and give yourself a chance and keep practicing. Do not discourage. Because, as I mentioned, it's not going to come to you overnight. It's not going to come to you in one practice. As all these monks knows, they have been practicing for 30 years, 40 years. And sometimes we still have these feelings and thoughts and emotions as the same like you all have. But having the practice, having the meditation is helping. So, my message is today, As I said before, we all are made for perfections, but we are not perfect. But give yourself a chance, be patient with yourself, build love and compassion towards yourself, and be mindful. And you will be able to trust me. I had many times these feelings and thoughts in my mind, and the practice had helped me tremendously. And I know from my practice, I guarantee that if you stay in the path and keep doing this practice, it's gonna get better to everybody. So be patient with yourself, build a love and compassion towards yourself, and be mindful about your thoughts.